Hey guys, we'll be starting shortly. Just kind of signal blasting the stream, of course. What's up, producer Reef? How's it going, man? Just kind of making sure. A couple people wanted me to tell them when it was going live. I mean, there's a notification button for this. I mean, you'd think that technology is not that hard, but you know, hey, whatever. Hold on. Ugh. Come on. There we go. That should be good. What's up, SC Reefer? What's going on, man? Things I build. Hello. Jeeping Reefer. Oyo. What's up, man? I'm sure in your foreign tongue that means hello. How's everybody doing tonight? Where's the drink, man? It's right here. Am I really that predictable? See, I find that like these live streams for me, like I don't give a shit about the whole YouTube thing, man. Like I feel like a certain point, certain YouTubers, especially with like reef tanks, assuming you have like no DIY skills whatsoever, which I'm not saying I have terrible DIY skills, but they're definitely kind of like lowball, like low key terrible. They already make a decent amount of money. Like, I don't really give a shit. Like, for me, this is like a kind of an outlet, right? For me to enjoy my hobby. And then I started enjoying a little bit too much, decided to put some videos on YouTube, and this is kind of where we are today. I'm sitting here on a Monday afternoon with you guys, Monday evening, just drinking because, you know, whatever. What's up, Josh? How's it going, man? By the way, I don't know if you guys could tell, but like this left half of my face, including my neck, is sunburnt to hell. Went fishing this weekend, and it turned out pretty. Fishing was okay. The sun, I'm white. I don't know if you guys noticed. I'm really, really freaking white, and that whiteness really kind of does me in sometimes. Yeah, it's pretty easy to see once you kind of pull away the black shirt. I was, you know, I'm here in Houston, right? And for the first time in like months, the sun came out and like just stayed. And it wasn't looking like it was going to be a bad day, especially when the beginning of the day, it started off at like what, 60 degrees or something like that. And then it just slowly ramped up. And I'm out there for like 5 hours, right? I caught like maybe one thing. It was pretty bad. And, you know, I just kind of died inside a little. Reef and Rios, what's up, man? Imperador Azteca, hello, white people. Hello from us white people. That was just a salute. It was not to be construed with anything else because that would be weird. And this stream is about fish. And that's it, fish. Just fish and drinking. Fish and drinking, which can lead to other hybrids and things. I should really rename this stream from like Reef Ramblings to something else. You guys should give me a name. Like Reef. Ooh, Reefaholics Anonymous. I like that. Wait, actually, hold on. I think Reefaholics is actually the name of a YouTuber. I don't know. Weather has been beautiful in Houston this weekend, especially Sunday. That's very true. If you take your shirt off, I'll upload a video. Bruh, come on now. I don't want to see your videos that badly. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Oh, God. I'm pretty sure there's probably some YouTube things, you know, against that or something. Jesus Christ. This is turning out really terrible right now. Oh, man. What you guys been up to? Anything good this week? Anything new with your tanks? I mean, I have a lot of new stuff with my tank, man. So much stuff always happening. I don't know if you guys saw, if you follow me on Instagram, Aaron's Aquatics YT. I actually fragged my GSP for the first time. Pretty sweet, actually. If you go take a look, it's pretty sweet, man. I still need to learn how to share my screen within Google Hangouts because it's a piece of crap software. But it turned out pretty good, man. I got like 12 solid frags, right? Like really big discs too. These are like almost 2-inch discs. So I'm planning on bringing them to my local fish store for some credit. I need some more alkalinity reagent, and this is a pretty good way to do it. Producer Reef, I'm battling dinos. Raise your nutrients. Reef and Rios. I got a baby Lamarck's angel. Dude, Ginacanthus angels are the best. Lamarck angels, if you get 2 of them, get a female and a male, they're awesome. They're awesome fish. Man, I need your help. I live at Amazonas and I want to create piranhas with betas. Can it work? Can I create piranhas with betas? I don't exactly know what you mean. I'm going to assume that there's an English language barrier going on here, and you really mean you want to like put them together. You want to put piranhas with betas, and you're not actually talking about like a piranha beta hybrid, right? But in any case, this is a saltwater stream. I don't know how much I can help you there. I'm going to guess that putting piranhas with betas is probably a bad idea, but betas are aggressive. I don't know. You need to talk to the freshwater people because I can't answer that question for you. Though actually, that's like, I mean, I'm more interested in the fact that you're trying to create this chimera. Like in my mind, I'm thinking like a really stubby beta fish with like really sharp teeth, but super long, pretty fins. It's like this ultra aggressive Chad male, like alpha personality, but you know, he still has that flamboyant kind of like, he really likes to dress well. He's like a Chad, but he goes to like Banana Republic. Okay. I hope I answered your question. Oh man. I plan to get a Bellis Angel for my graduation gift this June from FJW. Nice, man. Dennis always keeps Bellises in stock. Well, if you order, you can always order it, so it's pretty easy. Were you in the military? No. Hey, Aaron, Radions or Kessels? Depending on who you ask, somebody may say neither. It really depends on what you're growing. I mean, and what Radions you're getting. Are you getting used or new? I mean, a new Radion G4 Pro is like $799. Kessel, cheaper, much cheaper. So it really depends on what your par requirements are, if you actually need it or not. I don't necessarily always think it's required, but you know, it's up to you guys to decide. I went with Radions personally, but I'm switching away from Radions on my big tank, my 210. So I don't know if I'm the best person to ask anymore, but that's only because I'm switching to full SPS. And having just Radions is kind of like 2 problems. First problem being it's expensive to cover up the whole tank. You have to have like, with the size of my tank, 72 inches, you need 4 to 5 going perpendicular with the tank. So that's like $2,400 to $3,200 right there without even the mounting options. So yeah, pretty pricey. And also I needed like some kind of T5 supplement. Like regardless, I could have stayed with LED and gone with like 2 aquatic life hybrids next to each other, like 2 36 inches, but decided to just go with the metal halide T5 solution. Oh God, am I going to pronounce this right? Man Geek Net. Oh God, I got this right. Man Geek Network. What reactors are you running on the main tank? I'm actually not really running any reactors. I built in a manifold to supply 3 reactors, but I don't use any of them. Yeah, that's the answer. Because I bought them. I don't even remember what they were. It was like over a year ago. My original plan was to run one with carbon, one with with GFO, and the other one with like kind of as a standby if I wanted to put something in there. But decided not to because 1, my nutrients never got too high for me to care, and 2, my water quality always seemed good enough where I didn't think I needed to really run carbon. Blue Plus and acidic supplements with Radions. What do you suggest? I mean, that's kind of dependent, right? I mean, ATI Blue Plus bulbs are awesome. I mean, if you want to get the actinic, the pure actinic, if you want to go with like the Coral Plus, which kind of has that look, that could always work. I mean, honestly, I think LED T5 look is awesome. And not necessarily with Radions. I mean, Radions have that kind of staticky TV look unless you get the diffuser, which is more money, by the way, that you're paying Ecotech. What are you dosing on the main tank? A couple different things. So I'm doing bulk Reef supply 2-part. It's actually their really old bulk powder. And they don't really sell it anymore. They switched over to their pharma pouches, right? And those pharma pouches are much smaller. They're from smaller batches. And I bought these old jugs. And those things, you know, they still last me to now. And I just this past weekend, oh God. Just this last weekend, I put together my alkalinity bucket. I created a new one because I was just out, and my calcium is almost completely done. And I've been actually thinking about switching over to B-ionic. I always call it bionic, but I think it's like B-ionic, which is more concentrated. It's more accurate. So I'm thinking about switching over to that once I finish running out with my current calcium amount. So besides that, I don't really dose a whole lot. I mean, I used to dose nitrates, but one of the things that I've run into recently is that ever since adding my 3 new fish, the Bellis male, the orangeback fairy wrasse, and the longfin fairy wrasse, I haven't had a need to dose nitrates. In fact, it's actually gone above 10, which I don't really want. So for the first time in like 8 months, I turned on my skimmer last night, and it's already working. Dude, Simplicity, the brand, Simplicity of skimmers, those things I think are underrated. Not many people use them. You never really hear about it. It's like, oh, do you have a Nios, right? Or do you have like a Bubble Magus? Or do you have like some of those really fancy brands? Like, no one ever talks about some of the other ones. And I think Simplicity is really, really good, especially for the price. I turned that on. It was pumping out skimmate immediately. It was like turn one and done. It was easy. So it's already producing. I haven't tested today yet. So, we'll kind of see from there. But I don't really supplement anything else besides that. What are your easiest, so from Marcus, what are your easiest coral to have in your opinion? I mean, I keep SPS, so I would say probably something else. If you're talking specifically about me, I think the easiest coral, you could try getting some Zoas. I mean, I'll tell you what I did. Okay, I'll just tell you what I did. I don't know about you. My starter coral in my big tank was a splatter hammer. It's just a Euphilia, a hammer coral. It did great. I mean, I think as long as you take your time, right? You test your tank, you give it like maybe 30 days with fish or something like that, you should be good. I mean, I would say that for starter corals, right? So I would go with some Euphilia, some Zoas, maybe some GSP, but don't put that on your main rock structure. Just kind of keep that in, on an isolated island. I would stay clear of pulsing xenia. I hate it. I mean, it looks good, right? Everyone likes the little hand thing, but that stuff, unlike GSP, you cannot isolate GSP or pulsing xenia to an island. It will actually detach itself and go somewhere else. So a lot of people don't realize that, and they think they can just put it on an island, but it doesn't really work. Man Geek Network, what are you drinking? I got the Angel's Envy, very good bourbon. I feel like for a Reef stream, I should have something called Angel's Envy. I don't actually know what that is. I'm actually drinking something new that I just picked up. It is my Macallan 12. Honestly, and it's a sherry oak cask. I honestly, I've never had Macallan before, and most of what I drink is just single malt Scotch or just Scotch in general. But I picked that up. I just finished up a bottle of Lefroy. It was Lefroy. It's like the green bottle. It wasn't the 18, but it was something else. I forgot. But yeah, man, good job. Yeah, cheers. Let's see. Aaron, did you hear about the girl that went fishing with the 6 guys? So my mind went somewhere completely different. No, I don't know what you're talking about. Please elaborate. Did you hear about the girl that went fishing with the 6 guys? She came home with a red snapper. Is this a joke? I can't tell if this is a joke or not, but I hope she was able to, fillet that snapper, and it was very delicious and it was great. It was very nutritious. I'm sure that's exactly what this is about. Oh boy. Man. Anyways, so we kind of talked about the GSP. So, by the way, this is actually the first time that I've ever fragged coral. I've really never had coral that I've wanted to frag. Most of them have been like, Euphilia, right? I didn't want to kind of chop them up. But my GSP, so I originally had the GSP in my big tank, right? The 210. And then I moved it over to the clown harem because I wanted something alive in there, when it was first set up, before I had any other anemones or anything, right? And it started to get way too close to the main rock structure. I don't want any of that. And it was growing up the glass. And so I'm just like, okay, well, razor blade down the glass, get it off the glass. And a lot of people like to put it on the back of the glass. This is on the front of the tank. I'm not putting it on the front of the tank. It's ridiculous. You can't see anything. It's ridiculous. So I pulled the whole rock out. The rock is huge, okay? Probably like this, like a dinner plate size, right? Because you had the rock on the inside, but along the skirt, or excuse me, along the rock edge was kind of like a skirt of GSP that was growing along the sand. It was attaching to like little sand particles. And so I almost was able to pull that off. It was really easy, like to pull the GSP off of the skirt section. And then from there, I was able to use both surgical scissors as well as a scalpel to kind of remove it. And I made 12 frags. Hopefully I can get some decent credit for my LFS. I already confirmed from one that will take it. One of them will not. So that kind of sucks, but whatever. Let me see. Marcus, I want my tank just like yours. Thanks for the info. I appreciate that, but I also found out recently I have one single Aptasia in my tank. So you may not. You'll have to kind of check. I was actually planning on talking about that later in the stream, but I may as well, I guess, talk about it now. So I, yes, did find one single Aptasia in my tank. My tank is big. It's 72 by 24 by 28. So there's probably more than just one. But I have not seen any since then. Like there's still just that one. I don't have any product like calc to make kalkwasser, like a dip or something, or, you know, the paste you put on. I don't have Aptasia X, but what I did do last week is I ordered 5 month I don't know how do you pronounce it, Berging nudibranchs. It's like BEHRIG, something stupid that I can't pronounce in my English tongue. Anyways, it's an Aptasia eating nudibranch, and I bought 4 or 5 of them. They'll be arriving this week on Wednesday, and I'm just going to place them all right on top of that thing. Now, this is probably overkill. I mean, these nudibranchs do a great work. The problem is that once they're done eating Aptasia, that's it. They're done. Like they'll starve to death, and that's kind of sad. But you know, I'll pour one out for the nudibranchs. I mean, if I can capture them and maybe take them to my local fish store and give it to them for some credit, I'll do that too. They usually keep them, but they definitely charge a little bit more than where I got them online. And where I got them online was Salty Underground. I got some good recommendations for their nudibranchs, so hopefully they'll do well. And luckily, I don't have any fish that'll eat them. The only ones that I would be concerned about would be the orangeback fairy wrasse and the longfin fairy wrasse. But that particular family, that species of wrasses, don't really eat nudibranchs. Like if it was a yellow chorus wrasse, if it was a 6-line wrasse, yeah, the nudibranch would be toast, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, Chris, that's pretty much what I would consider doing. I mean, I don't want them to die if I don't have to. I mean, this is kind of what I'm weighing, right? I can either choose to let them stay in the tank until they find everything and then they die off, or I make the decision to hope that they got everything and then remove them from the tank and then, you know, give them to my LFS, give them to a reefer. Unless I have a way to get them back, there's no guarantee that they're actually all gone. And that's kind of my dilemma. And I don't know if they'll ever it'll fully be eradicated. I think what I'm planning on doing is that, you know, I'm going to put them in, I'm going to, you know, watch the situation. If it comes back, I'll probably put a more permanent solution in, like a true peppermint shrimp. It's hard to find some of those unless you go through a reputable store or breeder or, you know, a hobbyist that actually knows what they're doing. But yeah, I mean, there's a couple of people I could ask and they'd probably know. But anyways, guys, thank you everyone for joining me. It's now 6:46, a little bit after we started. We have like 20 people in here. That's a lot more than we usually have. So that's good. Awesome. Welcome. Thank you. Damn, I almost missed it. My bad. I was pooping. Maverick, I will always wait for you to finish pooping. It's okay. We'll be here for a while. Get and rock with Aptasia and keep them in a separate tank. Yeah, I mean, I could do that, but I think convincing my girlfriend, hey, babe, like this is how I'm thinking of the conversation. Hey, babe, you know, can I get a separate tank, like a really small one? You know, it's gonna be completely, you won't be able to even see it, full of these little anemone things that like to kill everything, and then put some sea slugs inside of it so that they survive. Is that okay? Yeah, okay. I could see this conversation going out really well. Yep. You know, actually, there are some people who do, I mean, like people who breed those nudibranchs, that's exactly what they do. They actually go to like local fish stores and ask them for their rocks, you know, and stuff like that, so that they can get that aptasia. I mean, there's no other way to feed them, right? So they have to be able to breed aptasia, which, you know, shouldn't be too hard. Man. Whew. So how's everybody's Monday doing? Is everyone excited for a full long work week? I'm not. I'm not at all. Oh my God. How do I like SCA quality? So for those of you that don't know, SCA is what is it? Southern California Aquariums? I don't even remember what it stood for. SCA Aquariums is a tank manufacturer. They built my 210-gallon tank. They also built my 90-gallon clown harem. Their quality is pretty good. Their quality is pretty good, pretty fine. The reason why I say it's pretty good and it's not the best is that it's a Chinese company. This company uses Chinese glass, which is why they can charge much cheaper for it. And when I say Chinese glass, I'm not putting on a MAGA hat and saying that, you know, it's Chinese, keep it American. I'm just saying objectively, their glass manufacturing process is different. It's lower visibility quality and it's lower build quality. So you kind of get what you're paying for. And that's kind of how it's supposed to be. I'll tell you, their support people are awesome. Their salespeople, they're awesome. Their response time is great. Like I'm on the phone with them talking about, hey, you know, for the 90-gallon build, they did some custom stuff for me. And they're like, hey, you know, we wanted to build this overflow for you. We're going to go ahead and order the overflow box to our place. We're going to cut the overflow for you. You know, they're going to do all this stuff. So I would fully recommend buying from them. But if you're asking me, you know, like what their quality is like, it's still just okay. That's all I'll go with. Oh, let me see. Do you think it's okay to acid bathe rocks and start over? Will that get rid of the phosphates in a rock? Yeah, you could always, I mean, like if you're starting over, it's perfectly fine to acid bathe a rock, but just make sure to go watch some YouTube videos or read some articles on it because, you know, the issue is, of course, proper care and safety. I mean, you're acid bathing something. It's perfectly fine to acid bathe your stuff. I mean, actually plenty of people do that. And there's a bulk reef supply video on that, on like how long it takes to cure rock if you just do it normally, like leave it, don't do anything. If you bleach it or if you acid bathe it. And then I think it's like if you do all the above. And the fastest one was all the above, like bleaching it and acid bathing it. But that's just a case of like speed, right? Now, on my 210, I had Pucani rock. Or have Pucani rock. And that's, I didn't acid bathe it, didn't bleach it. I just want to take my time. I spent 3 months curing that rock, constantly testing phosphates, nitrates, and then eventually dosing phosphate RX, which is just, what is it? Lanthium, LACL, chloride, lanthium chloride, I think is the chemical compound for phosphate RX. And that basically binds the phosphate into this kind of weird substance that you can like remove through a skimmer or through a water change. It's very helpful and very quick. But yeah, you got that all, especially for rock like Pucani, and if you have like live rock that's been around for a long time, you have all that dead organic material inside of it, all that organic material that could die or has been dying, and just collected. And so yeah, acid bathing could be a good idea, but you could just do it the normal way. It just takes longer. Also, I have to make a video of checking Steve when I get there. Oh, you mean Steve like from SCA? What do you think of Red Sea tanks? I don't overrate them. I have one myself. I hate them. I think Red Sea looks great. I mean, aesthetically, best. I mean, like it's great for in terms of the mass-produced tanks that you can get that are like all in, like not all in one, but like, you know, it's a sump, a tank, it's been pre-drilled, plumbed, you just hook things up, you buy the stuff separately. They're great, man. I think they're awesome. Definitely a good tank. They're expensive. Would I recommend it to a new reefer? Sure, why not? I mean, it's up to them, right? Who's like, okay, Imagine if you're trying to get somebody into the hobby and you tell them, hey man, go build your own tank stand, get some 2x4s, get some plywood, get some nails, get some, all this crap. And then once you're done, just go ahead and buy that tank, put it on there, grab a sump, go ahead and do all the plumbing, drill your return into glass. I mean, a lot of this stuff is like for a new hobbyist, I wouldn't tell them to do that. I mean, unless they really want to, or if they're that kind of person, sure. But if you really want them to be in the hobby, the last thing you want to do is to tell them, hey, don't do that. Just, it looks good, man. Just tell them, it's fine. Pricey, but it's, fine. I just never understood the space with the overflow with their tanks. Yeah, producer Reef. So that's the biggest issue that I have with SCA tanks is they have internal overflows. But that has nothing to do with SCA in general. A lot of mass-produced tanks in general have internal overflows. Go look at Red Sea. Like, let me look at it right now. Wrong window. Red Sea 750 XXL. This is their biggest production tank. And let me look inside of it. And there you go. Yeah, this has an internal overflow box. It takes up valuable aquascaping space to put this internal overflow box. And that's honestly my biggest regret on the 210. And I guarantee you, whenever I eventually replace this tank, which I will sometime in the future, I will 100% be doing an external overflow box, probably using the bean animal overflow. And I refuse to do another internal overflow because it just takes up space that I'd rather have for aquascaping, for more coral, without a doubt. Maverick, did you watch the high-tech aquariums that are like mixed with a PC? They look cool, but I can do the exact same with the kit. I don't exactly know what you're referring to. I mean, if you're talking about the ones that have all the control panel boards from all the like the skimmer controller, the Apex, like all that kind of garbage. Yeah. I mean, I've seen what you're talking about. Mr. Mike, bang, bang, skeet, skeet. What's up, Mr. Mike? Man, good to see you. Good to see you, bud. Yeah, I mean, those super controller type ones are awesome. I think they look great. I mean, let me put it this way. I have been building computers since I was 10. I learned from one of the original Seagate engineers. I mean, it doesn't really matter, and building computers easy, right? It's nothing special, but I got to learn it from somebody who's really involved with the technology or the hardware, I guess. So I'm cool with that. And actually, I mean, the place is kind of dirty, so I'm not going to turn my camera around. But like my computer setup is pretty nice. It's something that I like. My next plan though is what you guys need to do? Go Google wall. I think they're called like wall-mounted PCs. They're basically like a board of this kind of anti-static material where you install the pieces into a flat panel. And they look amazing. It's basically like an open, like if you were to like deconstruct a PC and put it on a flat board, they look freaking sick. But regardless, even if I don't do that, my plan, like I've always used closed loop water cooling on my computer. Like the, not high, I was about to say Hydor. I'm like, that's a aquarium pump. I forgot the name. They're really popular. It's a Corsair. Corsair's H110i, I think. They have a closed loop liquid cooling system, which just is like a radiator and then the cooling element attaches to the CPU. But I want to do an open loop system where I get all of the plumbing myself, all the coolant, the radiator, the reservoir, and then plumb everything like that. I've always wanted to do that, but it's something I've never really done because I've never really been in a position to do that. But that's also another expensive thing, and I've got too much fish stuff to buy. Mike, actually, so you're saying you're going to do a cheapo eShops overflow or a Fiji one like Chupa. So actually from Chupa, I'm planning on getting for my frag tank build that's currently in progress. He's going to be able to wholesale shop 2 Fiji overflow boxes, which they're perfectly fine. I mean, they're competitively priced with the other ones too. I mean, if you wanted to get like, what's the other brands? Like you have a Shadow Overflow, a Synergy Shadow Overflow, I think. A couple other ones, but they're all priced. If you get like the 800 gallons per hour, 800 to 1,000, it's around $100 to $120 each. And with like a wholesale, if you can have access to somebody with a wholesale account, it's like maybe $10, $15 cheaper. Okay, how big is the corner there? That corner is killing me. I think a cascade with a tiny pond and a cascade with some plants will look good, like those wall cascades. It's kind of hard to say. I mean, this cabinet, look, I mean, look at the books. You kind of do the math. I mean, it's not that big. I mean, I could put some stuff back there, but there's no way I'm going to be able to convince my girlfriend to say, I'm going to put like the giant aquarium right there. That's not going to happen. I already struggle enough with my existing tanks, let alone something completely like that. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Maybe if my YouTube channel blasts off to stardom and I'm just raking in all of that sweet YouTube money, she'll agree to it. But until then, I guess, I'll just have to, deal with my 210-gallon Reef aquarium and my 90-gallon Reef aquarium. I would build a corner-tall living vivarium, a planted thing with Amazon dart frogs. I think that would be actually kind of cool. I've looked at a bunch of vivarium videos online, and you've got like, for me, I want to have the ones that have a more water than the top section, right? So you have the top section, which has the actual habitat for some kind of like amphibians or whatever. And then you have the bottom part, which has the water. I want the ones that have a little bit more water than the top section, but I don't know what animals that would be good with. But man, those things look really cool. Those things look really cool. It's like 3 feet wide and like 2 feet front. That's how it looks like. Yeah, I mean, that's about right. I mean, I have a tape measure here. I could just... Hold up. Planning Aaron's new build real quick. I'm still going to sit down. I'm not going to get up. Shit, dude, you're right. That's like 3 feet and 2 inches. It's like 38 inches. But I mean, at the same time, actually, yeah, I don't want to move that cabinet. That cabinet is drilled into the, I forgot. I have some L braces at the top drilled into the wall because it's super top heavy. Kind of sucks. A2, you upload to Sump video. To Sump video? I don't know. Calypso? Hey, what's up, buddy? What video are you talking about, man? I do not understand. The last video I uploaded was my new fish video. And it actually kind of spiked in views. Like, I watch my videos to see what usually, like, how they trend as they come out. And this last video got a lot of really good reception. It was on the new coral, the fish, the lights, and like some of the high-end acropora that I picked up. And yeah, it's doing great. It's doing really good, actually. How do you acclimate your sticks? Oh boy, that should be like a video all by itself. So it depends on who I get them from. Assuming I get it from like my local fish store or from somewhere that I have no idea what their tanks are like and I don't trust them and I know they aren't pest free, then I will do the following process. Okay. I will take, so first I'll, temp acclimate them, right? That's step number one. Once that's done, I will drip acclimate them for like 1.5 to 2 hours. It really depends on where they came from. If they came from really cold weather or the salinity is so much different, I'll do like 2+ hours, but in general, 1.5 hours. Once that's done, I will then fill that. So I'll make sure to only have about 2 cups of water inside the tank or in the little container that I'm acclimating them in, because that's how I base all of my measurements on. So once I do that, I do about, I use Coral RX, which I'm planning on switching to something else, as long as it's not iodine based. That's what I'm trying to avoid, because acropora don't like iodine. So you use that for about 8 minutes, Coral RX, and then you rinse it out. You let it rinse for I let it rinse for about equal parts time, so about another 8 minutes. Once that's done, I dump out that water, add another 2 cups of fresh tank water. Everyone gets confused. I always say, to add 2 cups of fresh water. They think I'm adding fucking like RODI water or something, and that's not the case. Once that's done, I add in Bayer. Bayer Advanced Insect Killer, which, by the way, has recently changed their name to Bio Advanced. It's the exact same formula. It's perfectly fine. And my measurements for Bayer, well, Bio Advanced, is about 50, depends on what kind of aquapore it is, but about 10 to 15 milliliters per cup of water. So in my case, I use about, okay, so this is kind of hard. Like, just stop at this point real quick, okay? Because I've seen studies done where Acropora eating flatworms, which is a huge reason why people use Bayer, is not effective until like 20 to 30 milliliters per cup of water. So if you have 2 cups of water, like I always do for my sticks for acclimation, you know, you're looking at 50 to 60 milliliters of Bayer, which is a lot. I've been okay with it just fine. I'm a little bit hesitant with the new branding, just in case it's not exactly the same formula, even though the active ingredients are identical. Yeah, but anyways, so I'll do that for 10 minutes, and then I'll dump that out, add 2 cups of fresh tank water, 10 minutes, dump that out, add 2 cups of fresh tank water, 10 minutes. Basically, these 2 sets of 10-minute 2 cups of water is for getting rid of all of the Bayer. Any Bayer that's left over, any Coral RX that's left over, it gets removed so you don't add that back into your tank, because you don't want Bayer into your tank. You want it on your coral. It's very soft on SPS, Acropora, but it's not good with everything else. I dip everything in Bayer though. So like zoanthids, Euphilia, acans, what else have I put in there? Mushrooms, like bounce mushrooms. Bounce mushrooms have gone through Bayer. Like I've never had any, and by the way, when I say that, rhodactis mushrooms do fine in Bayer. Rob 93 Aquatics, new tank build, thumbs up, flex. Yeah, man. My frag tank build, it's nowhere in a point where I can do any videos on it really, outside of just rambling and talking about my plans. But that's about it. So Reef and Rios, I use Bayer. It works wonders. Yes, it is awesome. Chris Grease, Bayer, then Revive. Yep, that's very good. Yeah, so Reef and Rios, you said Ocean Life Aquarium has some, and Nick Sr. sold it to you at a good price. When did you buy it? Because it was actually kind of hard for even me to get Bayer from them. Basically, you can see it so behind their counter, very bottom left, you can see it behind the counter at the very bottom, but unless you ask them specifically about it, like they'll tell you that it's not for sale, and you'd be like, is it really not for sale? And then they'll be like, okay, yeah, I can give it to you for like X amount of dollars. So they do a good job. They're okay with it. But they're a little bit hesitant to selling it because in a lot of states, it's actually illegal to sell it with the purpose of using it for anything other than pesticide. So as long as everyone has an understanding with each other that you can sell it, it's perfectly fine. Things I build, do you place them in lower lights after? That's a very good point, actually. I didn't really talk about that. So yes, I do. I have a magnetic frag rack that I put on. If you don't have that, you can put it on the sand bed, or you can, kind of do whatever. But basically, the lower third of your tank, just kind of leave it there. Leave it there for like a week, let it acclimate. The whole point of this is to letting it acclimate more to not really your lights per se, but your water chemistry. Yes, part of it is your lights, but in my opinion, especially if it sticks, in most cases, the people you are buying sticks from as hobbyist level, like if you go to Reef and you buy it from a hobbyist there, not necessarily like your friend, Patrick, your neighborhood, whatever guy. Normally those guys will have better lights than you. Not saying anything. I'm just saying usually they have grow out systems that have 10 to 12 inch deep water where they're just pounding that stuff with light. I'm talking about like, 400 plus par. So usually they will have more than you. So even if you put it at the top of your tank, probably going to be fine. I wouldn't necessarily do that, especially if you know that, say, they grew it out with metal halides and T5 and you've got like radions over your tank or Kessels. Those are completely different lighting solutions. And you probably want to acclimate them slowly. So once you pay at the bottom, put them at the bottom at like the bottom third, raise them up a couple inches every couple days until you want to get them to where you want it to be. If you know for a fact that the lights that they came from were higher par than you. That's what I would do. If your lights are higher, I would definitely take your time with that, man. Like if you grew it out in rate, or say you bought it from some guy who grew it under like freaking Home Depot 60-watt bulbs or like something stupid like a shop light. And they put it under your Radeon G4 Pros directly underneath the pendant or the cluster. Then I would like move it up a couple inches every 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks. Because honestly, what I usually see in the hobby so far, and I've only been in a little over a year, is that people kill their coral faster when it comes to do with light than anything else. Anything else. Light, especially with LEDs, because most people who start, they start with LEDs. That's how it is. Everyone's like, oh, technology, cool. Plug and play. Here's a template that you can use. Cool. And that's great. That's awesome. But the LEDs have a lot of downsides that people just don't look at. You could have it at the same level, the same bottom third of the tank. But if you place that frag directly below the pendant, that heat hotspot could be like twice the par value as if you were to do it on the outskirts. So, Reefing, yes, we pay cash, but my dad and I are pretty close with pretty much everyone at OL. Yeah, man. I mean, those guys are awesome. Like Nick, everyone calls him Nick Senior and Nick Junior. I never really caught on to that. So like Nick Senior, or I just did. Nick, Jose, all those guys over there, they're awesome. They're great people, man. Am I going to be going to Aquashella Dallas? Yes, I'm going to be going to Aquashella Dallas. I've already booked tickets. I've already picked up hotel reservations. I'm going to be driving, so no plane for me. I am going to be bringing my nice cooler, though, so I can bring some coral back. Pretty excited about that, guys. Really, actually pretty excited. I've only been to one reef event myself, and that was to Reef Currents, which is Houston's largest I think it's Houston's largest. It is, right? Houston's largest frag swap. And it's put together by Marsh Reef, which is Houston's largest reef club. So pretty great. I mean, they're awesome, man. Like, who was there? Like everyone. Red Sea was there. Ecotech was there. All like big coral groups were there. Like Jason Fox. Jason Fox was there. I actually met him there. I bought some coral from him. I got some of the, what were they? Bam Bam. I think they were like, I got some Zoas from him. They were the Bam Bams. I also picked up a couple other things from him, a couple SPS pieces. I think I got my, no, I didn't. I got my Force Fire Digitata from a reefer on Reef to Reef. I'm trying to remember what I bought from him exactly. Crap, I don't remember. All I know is that I also picked up my my orange Octospawn. I picked up my Utter Chaos Zoanthids. Freaking awesome! Like that's such an awesome place, man. Does Houston have any other swaps other than currents? I don't know the answer to that, and actually, I would love to know the answer to that. I would love to know that because I would actually be really curious. Reef Currents is awesome. This year I have to leave early. It's my prom night, LOL. Congratulations, man. Good luck. Orange Octospawn, I have never seen that. Yeah, Mike, I have an Orange Octospawn. I really haven't shown it too much. I think I thought I did a long time ago after Reef Currents, but maybe I didn't. So it lost most of its color when I put it in my tank. And keep in mind, this was Reef Currents. It was probably like, what, 7 months ago? And at the time, my tank had no nutrients. And so the Octospawn really took a hit, but it's come back really, really far. It got back most of its color, but you can definitely still see that there's whites there. So yeah. Hey, Mick Frizzy, if this wasn't a YouTube stream, I would definitely tell you where my Michael Kors jacket is. What's up, man? How's it going? Oh, man. Yeah, by the way, Mr. McFrizzy gave me some shit recently, and when I took it, when I went fishing last weekend, no, not the weekend before last, because I went fishing with like one of my Michael Kors jackets, and he saw this one little logo. Oh, whatever, man. Hey, what's wrong with that? Come on. Oh, geez. Oh, by the way, so one thing I wanted to talk about was the status of my frag tank build that I'm pretty excited about. So there's a couple moving parts here, and the biggest ones, the one that's probably going to take the most time, is the actual frag rack itself. So I'm working with a guy that was put in contact to me by another member of our Discord server who here in Houston, who's building the rack for him. And it's probably going to take, I mean, I don't know, another 3 weeks for that to be finished. So that's really when I'm going to be able to get some of that major stuff done. But I think the biggest stuff that I'm working on right now is the light options, the tanks themselves, and then like all of the other equipment. So just kind of going down that list in the same order. So for the lights, I'm using LED Zeals. It's a Chinese brand, you know, completely shilled by one of our current Discord members. Yeah, anyways, these are really nice LEDs, especially the diode configuration that I'm currently using. That's a copy of one of the guys that I know. And yeah, I mean, these put out some great light, but you got to think about it like this, right? So the frag tank structure is like two tanks, right? So in the middle, the kind of bottom to middle level, you'll have like zoanthids, you'll have miscellaneous coral, things that don't need as much light. The bottom one will be underneath two of the radions that I currently don't use anymore because I replaced them on my main tank, and a T5 supplementation. So it's going to be, you know, radions and T5s on the top. So that's going to be for SPS, any acropora, and that's going to be kind of like the main thing for the frag build. So that's my lighting situation right now. I have to get the aquatic. I'm going with an Aquatic Life T5 hybrid, putting the radions in there, getting some Blue Plus and maybe something else to put in there. And then for the actual tanks themselves, I'm planning on going with the 50-gallon low boys, which are 48 by 24 by 10. And I mean, I think they're great dimensions. They're awesome. They're on the smaller side. But they're pretty good tanks. The problem is trying to source them. It's actually kind of hard to find those tanks. If you can go find a tank that's a low boy, let me know, right? The only way that I found that you can get them is if you go to certain LFSs in your area and you ask them to order for it or order it for you. So I'm going to be going to FJW. And Dennis is going to be ordering me. He's the owner of FJW. He's going to be ordering me some low boys. Now, he actually offered me some of his used low boys. He has a used low boy at home. He said, like, hey, man, I can give you this low boy for $80, which normally they retail for like 120-ish or so, 120, 125. If not, I can get a new one for like 114. So he's giving me a really good discount regardless on the used version or the a new version if I really want to go that direction. Reef Monkey, hi from UK. What's up, man? How's it going? I was actually in London about 9 months ago. It was great. It was awesome. No, not 9 months ago. Last September. I was in London for 2 weeks, and then I went to Germany, Berlin for 1 week. And I think my favorite thing about London was probably Camden Markets, which was the, you know, like an open food district kind of thing. It was awesome. I loved it. Anyways, so the tanks are the hardest thing to source, but I've already got a connection. I'm good there. The last one is all the other miscellaneous equipment, right? You're talking about a skimmer, a sump. If you want to have a refugium, you have the refugium lights. The power heads, the heaters, everything else, right? So the skimmer, I'm going with the Bubble Magus Curve 9 for the entire system because I was able to pick one up for like $50. Super cheap, guys. Like a Bubble Magus Curve 9 is rated at like 400 plus gallons. This system with the two tanks, it's going to be like 4 times the volume, way more than I need. The sump is probably the most expensive part of it, but I'm able to get the sump, the gyre. So for the power heads and some of the other stuff, I'm able to go through a couple wholesale accounts because of somebody that I know, and I'll be able to source those relatively cheap. I mean, it's still going to be expensive, right? I mean, in total, but cheaper than full retail, which is nice. I'm thinking how to make a 100-gallon aquarium that barely needs everything we use. Like as natural as it can be. I wonder the light as a necessity 100%. I mean, I don't know, man. If you're trying to do like the bare minimum aquarium, you could always do that. I don't know how you would do it. The problem is if you try to use natural light, it tends to brown out coral. I mean, a lot of people do that. If you go look at grow outs where they take coral, they grow it out outside, they cut it up and they put it out inside various oceans for coral repropagation, like those kind of humanitarian efforts that try to increase coral populations in areas where they're kind of bleaching or dying. Those corals brown out because the sun just has that habit. So if you want to have nice looking coral, yeah, you probably won't be able to do that, but at least you'd probably be able to do it. McFizzy, there's like 3 50-gallon low boys at my local reptile store. Yeah, man. I mean, Houston, I haven't really looked. I mean, low boys are a reptile tank. That's probably where you're actually going to find it. If you have a reptile store, go look for it. Yeah, I mean, you could probably get it there. Jeepers, order my low boy from Pet City, Houston. Didn't know FJW will order them too. Yeah, I mean, FJW will order them. Something like Pet City would actually probably have it more likely like in stock over, say, FJW. Reef and Rios, I'm turning the guest room into my frag room. My mom already wants me to grow coral, just needs my dad to fund it all. Dude, that's awesome. The fact that you have your mom like ready to go to like help you out with that, that's sick. Your dad funding it all, that's probably the other side of the story. What you need to do is you need to finish prom. You need to go to college, get a degree, get a job, and pay for your own shit. Like, you just, like I gotta tell you, if I had a kid, and like I'm 30, okay? I just turned 30, by the way, so I'm still 29 inside. If I had a kid and he wanted to have as much coral stuff as I did, and I didn't enjoy the hobby as much as I do, I'd probably tell him like, fuck right off. Like, you get the shit out of here. I don't know. I'm not dealing with you. This is ridiculous. Mike Paletta has a sunlit tank. Check it out. There are a few videos on it. Yeah, he probably does. Mike Paletta, as well as Than from Tidal Gardens. I mean, all of Tidal Gardens systems were like set up in greenhouses, but you got to keep in mind that even if they're in greenhouses and they use natural sunlight, they still take advantage of like T5s, right? I think he had a video on it relatively recently, or at least within the last 6 months, that was covering his cheap T5 fixtures. Yeah, I mean, his coral look awesome. Like, light is needed, but I was just thinking like no filter at all and just the light and some waiver, maybe 2 waivers. I mean, yeah, man, I mean, you could try it. It's up to you. I would definitely do your research into that because that's kind of an expensive test. Yeah, study first, guys. Stay in college, stay in school. I mean, like, let me ask you, for the people here in this channel that are in the workforce, and if you went to college, are you actually doing what you studied for in college? So for me, right? I majored in management of information systems, which is like an IT focused career path, and I ended up in IT. But I definitely didn't start in IT. So yeah, I guess I have a new title now. I am a senior systems analyst. So my job is to make sure that stupid people can also do their job. Yes, that's exactly my job. Every day is to deal with stupid people who can't do their job. It's not, so there's like the way our team works is like I both do development as well as application support. So, in my particular trading environment that I work in, it's kind of hectic, so to say. And so I'm always stressed out. Ryan, hello, sir. What's going on, man? Jeeper, I studied marine fisheries, only using it now for my hobby. That's cool, man. What do you do now? It's really close. I mean, they can't really, like, marine fisheries is usually pretty close to you can't really get too far away from that and it not being close at all. Let's see. I'm getting a job to buy more coral. That's really it. That's fine. Maverick, I'm an engineer, #2, and that's how I know my site, the measurements. LOL. In my case, I got sick and now I have to stay at home. You hate it. Oh man, that sucks. I'm sorry. That's pretty rough. What kind of engineering are you, by the way? Because one of my really good friends, his brother is a chemical engineer. At least he's almost finished studying to be a chemical engineer, and it's pretty awesome stuff. Chris, yes, I'm an educator, and that is what I went to school for. That's cool, man. That's awesome. You said you're an educator. What grade level do you do it outside of it? Because I have another good friend of mine who I forgot the name of the school. He did cram school in Taiwan. He was born here in the U.S., but he speaks Hokkien, which is like the Taiwanese local language. His wife is also Taiwanese. So he went back to Taiwan and he teaches there at cram schools for Taiwanese kids who wanted to learn English. So it's kind of crazy, but mad respect for educators. I'm doing good, sir. It's my birthday today. How are you? Happy birthday. Well, hold on. Your name's Lion Ryan. I don't think it's your birthday. I'm calling you out. Prove it. Give me your birth certificate. Took me 10 years to figure out, currently 5th grade. That's cool, man. I don't know if I could hang out with kids like that all the time. So you probably, actually, no, I take that back. I deal with 5th graders, but they're adults. They're like in adult bodies. Dude, it's legit my birthday. I don't know, man. Your name's Lion Ryan. How can I trust you? How can I trust you? Lion Ryan thing is a ripoff, a YouTube vid. Man, there's a lot of YouTube vids out there. Maverick, I started with marine zoologist, then channel to be a premed, to be a pre-med. Then I wanted to be a vet, but it's better for me number because nothing dies there. Yeah, that's true, man. I don't know. I think if money was no longer wasn't really a concern and I just wanted to study something for the sake of studying it, honestly, I don't know what I would do. Like I really like IT, but I don't necessarily like the IT field that I'm in. I would probably be more focused in maybe robotics or that kind of that tier of engineering rather than like computer science IT. You know what I'm saying? I'm just in school. School. What's school good for? Nothing. Like you guys, like it's ridiculous right now. Like if you're in school, by the way, and you're like whether you're in high school, you're in college, whatever, I will tell you the single most important thing in school, besides living out life to the fullest, is 100% getting an internship or something along those lines, getting practical experience, because it's complete and utter bullshit that when you get a junior level job or like an entry level job, that what they ask for is like 2 years experience. It's like, yeah, we're looking for a junior, let's see, what do we want to say? We want a junior application support guy. And he needs 5 years experience with SQL Server. He needs 2 years experience with Python and 1 year of applicable programming language. I'm like, you fucking idiots. Are you serious? Like, it's dumb. And I absolutely hate that mentality. But the best thing about that is definitely getting some real world experience. Went to college for a month. It wasn't for me. Went to military. Wasn't for me. Hey, man. Respect, I guess, for indecisiveness. I don't know. I'm taking AP Computer Science next year. Awesome, man. That's really good. I'm supposed to be studying right now, speaking of school. Yeah, man, probably. Chris, name some fish. Lenardi wrasse. I really want one. I really want a Lenardi wrasse. But those things are like $700. If you can pronounce this, Koyoi parrotfish. I think it's like Q-U-Y-O-I. It's like a Hawaiian word, Koyoi parrotfish. They're one of the only reef-safe parrotfish that you can get, but it needs a really big tank. And to me, it's like an end goldfish along with like a harlequin. Am I pronouncing that harlequin or harlequin tusk, which is really a wrasse, but it's a big boy, really, really big boy. I love those fish, man. They're so cool. Zeal 2 looks like Aaron got a tan. I look like a tomato. Yes. And actually, it's not that I got tan. I got a fucking sunburn. It's really bad. Like, you got to look at this, man. Like, I am really white. Like European white guilt white. Like, I'm like the white guy who goes to like a vegan soul food place and I want to eat their food, but I'm really self-conscious about myself. I'm like that white. I'm like really up there. Do you think that I really need to add nutrients to my water if I have an Anubias plant and Amazon sword plants? Yeah, I mean, all plants need nutrients. Like in my case, I'll go back to marine zoology because I want to pet a lot of dangerous animals. What's the best temp for a breeding guppy tank? From Amber Fowler. I have no freaking clue. I saw those wild in Hawaii. Dude, that is really cool. If you're probably talking about the koi parrotfish, that's sick. Mike Lemming, what's up, man? How you doing? Dude, by the way, your live stream, well, when did you guys do it? Friday? I think it was last Friday. That was really good, man. Nice job. Man, use some aloe vera. So I went to work today. My girlfriend, she's actually working from home. She said that she was going to go pick up some aloe vera at the grocery store, but she never did. So I'm wholly disappointed, and probably that's breakup terms right there. Chris, look up Nokomis wrasse. Cool fish, not too much coin. I'm going to look at that right now. How do you pronounce that? Nokomis wrasse. Did I pronounce that right? I spell it Nakomis. I did. And I don't see anything except malware analysis database. A little bit skeptical. I'm apparently brain dead, possibly. Click Clack Reef, what's up, man? Click Clack Reef, weren't you in Mike Lemming's stream as well? I think you were. I think you were. People giving advice about guppy tanks in a Reef stream, very cool. Break up, no balls. Yeah, over some fucking like mist aloe vera. Mark V, what's up, man? How's it going? Oh, Jesus. I love this stream. I love streaming. I should have done this a long time ago. I really should have. But I do need to change the name. I need to go talk to Reefaholic and see if he's okay, if I can like name it like Reefaholics Anonymous and he won't get like upset or something. Does anyone actually speak to Reefaholic? He's got like 1,000+ subs. What, dude, I triple dogged? Dude, I'm not going to go dump my dude. Okay, I started dating my girlfriend in, I should remember this, 06, 2010. So, yeah, we've been dating for like 9 years. And keep it on the DL, but I'm thinking about asking her to marry me this year. So, but that's you know, I'm just going to drop that. What am I sipping on, bro? Mike, I am sipping on Macallan 12, and probably why I'm telling you guys my intimate life stories. Oh. That looks like well-cooked lobster. It happened to me too. That's why you need aloe vera before you get the boils, probably. Dude, you're gonna get married. Wait, is this a PogChamp moment? Dude, you're getting married, PogChamp. What does the internet come to? What have we come to as a people where our lives become a Twitch stream? This is terrible. Yes, hopefully a wedding. Dude, you don't fucking understand. Like, the problem is she wants expensive shit. I'm talking about like, she wants to go to Maldives, right? Maldives for like a honeymoon. I mean, we've been together for 9 years. Like, nothing is secret. She wants to go to the Maldives, which I'm excited for because like scuba diving, because I'm PADI certified, but like snorkeling too, whatever. But you know, the fish there are freaking awesome. But it's so fucking. I'm keeping my voice down because I don't want to hear her. I want her to hear me. You know, it's so expensive, right? It's like, you know, you can easily spend $1,400 a night at this place. I'm talking about like a bungalow over the ocean outside of, you know, the main Maldivian islands, which, by the way, the whole thing about Maldives to me is ridiculous. If you ever look at that country, go look at the country. It's like you have a primary country mainland, which is this like impoverished, like, you know, horrible, like I'm gonna say horrible place. I'm sure people enjoy themselves and live their lives to the fullest, but it's like, you know, there's people are starving, people are suffering, and then you have like this tourist area where all these wealthy fucks come here and they spend some time there, right? And to me, it's like this dystopian environment. And my girlfriend's like, well, you know, we want to go there because, you know, the global warming and the water's rising and the Maldives and like Venice is going to be gone and I want to go see it. I'm like, okay, fine. Let's do it. Fine. Nalco wrasse. If you're talking about the Nalco wrasse, Chris, yes, I'm very familiar with that one. I've actually seen it. It's a very cool fish, but I don't think it's actually as cheap as you might think it is. I mean, it's actually kind of expensive. Good bro, just gonna throw this rock in an RDI bath and then it's a pop in. Gonna be wet soon. I'm pumped. Are you starting? Is this for like a new build or something, Mike? Mine wants Bora Bora. Man, Bora Bora is cheaper than Maldives, but it looks just as good. And they have the same exact kind of concept, right? You have these like bungalows that are like over the water. You can look down, and if you get like the expensive ones and stuff like that, you can get all that. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome. Try to get a package. Yeah, well, it kind of depends. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It's going to be a while, right? It's going to be a while. I'll talk to you guys later when it gets, further into it. I'm going to Japan later this year in September. No, November. November to December. I'm going to Japan for 3 weeks. We're stopping off in Okinawa first. And then in Okinawa, we are going to be doing a handful of things. We're going to go to the Okinawa Aquarium, which is that huge. If you guys have never seen it, go YouTube Okinawa Aquarium. They have like whale sharks, giant whale sharks, multiple whale sharks inside this aquarium. It's enormous. They have that. And then they have like a hot spring. Like we're going to stay in an onsen, do the whole because I'm like a total weeaboo. Okay. Like fuck it, whatever. And so we're going to do all that. It's going to be fun. Then we're going to go to, this is going to be the second time going to Japan, by the way, but we only stayed in Tokyo. And then, so after that, we're going to go back to Tokyo, stay in Tokyo, and then we're going to go somewhere else and they're going to do some stuff. She's planning a lot of it. I'm just kind of along for the ride. New build, Mike, dude, that's going to be awesome. Excited to see that, man. My parents are going to Tahiti this winter for their anniversary. I'm going to tag along because why not? I fly free. Anyways, they can hang where they want. I'm going to be in the water filming. That's going to be awesome, man. You should link me some of those videos when you do. Maldives Blackfoot clownfish. I'll have to go look that up in a little bit. Dude, go and check the koi farms. Are you talking about Japan? Is there a specific one that I want me to go look at? Koi farms, like Japan koi farms. Honestly, I don't know a whole lot about them. There's I'm just a quick Google search. There's one in Niigata Prefecture, Danichi Koi Farm. I mean, that'd be kind of cool, I guess. I gotta tell you, when I went to Hong Kong, like on Fish Street, I wish I recorded that. I should have recorded that for you guys. They have so much fish stuff. Oh my God. It's like streets, multiple levels of like salt, mostly freshwater, honestly. Like they're really into that kind of like ADA aesthetic, yeah, so it was pretty sweet. But I'm looking forward to it in Japan. And go to the Hello Kitty Mall. You'll end up pooping white and pink. I'll pass. Good luck, Ryan. I'm going to be harassed. Someone send this boy a super chat. Dude, yeah, you send me a super chat, I'll buy a goldfish in Japan with your name on it. Oh, God. Man. This is a good day indeed. Mike, what's the plan on the build, by the way? You got any special plans for it? Do you have any ideas on what it's going to be? Actually, do you have a video, by the way, on the build yet? Have you talked about it at all? Or is this just kind of like full planning stage? By the way, if you guys go click on Mike Lemming's the triple dots next to his name and go subscribe to his YouTube channel. I can't speak anymore. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool, man. He has some good stuff on his channel. Oh, wait, no, you're talking about your build. Sorry, dude, I thought you were talking about some like a different build. Man, what the fuck? Making me feel terrible. Yeah. I'm giving you 250. Bring me a gem tang. Hey, dude, 250 will get you a down payment on a gem tang. That's not nearly enough for a gem tang. Unless you're giving me like 200. No, even 250 pounds or euros still couldn't buy me a gem tang. The pooping is the colors because you eat Hello Kitty. Like, no joke. You'll be like, damn, Maverick was right. Dude, if I ever get to the point in my life where I'm shitting like red and white and pink, and I think to myself, that one guy Maverick was right, I feel like I feel like something's really wrong. Gem tangs could be cheaper. Honestly, there's only a few things that might be a little bit cheaper in Hong Kong when I was there. Crystal red shrimp, like if you want to get that Caridina and some of those Neocaridina species of dwarf Taiwanese shrimp, yeah, they were a little bit cheaper. And actually, some of them were a lot cheaper. Like if you get those like Sakura or Masura grade crystal red shrimps, I'm dropping that fish knowledge on you guys, a freshwater knowledge. They were much cheaper in Hong Kong than they were in here. I was like telling my my girlfriend's cousin who lives in Central in Hong Kong. I was like, dude, like, because he had a tank at his home with like a bunch of like these Massera grade cherry red shrimps, and I was like, dude, this tank here, like these shrimp here are super expensive. Like you need to sell these. You're gonna get some mad money, but you need to sell them in America. Fish Street are cheap in Hong Kong. Saw an inappropriate reefer friend one of his videos. Yeah. No, it's cheaper, sure. It's some of it is, but not necessarily gem tanks. Yeah, inappropriate reefer has been to Fish Street a couple times. It's a great place, man. But here's the thing. My favorite thing about Hong Kong is the food, not necessarily the fish. Because right close to that area over by Fish Street is a stall that sells stinky tofu. And that shit is awesome. You got to try it at least once in your life. Fizzy, oh, Aaron, I've got to run right now. Have a good live stream. Thanks, man. You have a good one. And I'm going to keep wearing my, my nice jacket while I'm fishing just because of you. Man. But yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to, and actually I got a question for you guys. So I'm for my frag tank build, you know, really it's meant to hold some of the cuts that I take from my main tank. But I definitely want to stock it with some stuff specifically so I can grow it out, so I can sell it, so I can start paying for a larger build that's way down the line. And one of the stuff that I wanted to kind of grow out and sell were some zoas or paleothoas. And honestly, I'm not. So when it comes to sticks, especially Acropora, you know, I can tell you all of the high-end designer shit. I can tell you all the low-end, easy to care for stuff. But when it comes to zoas, I'm not super familiar, but I really want to become familiar. So if you guys have any suggestions for like your favorite zoanthids, or especially ones that grow really well, let me know because I kind of want to know. And Hong Kong, awesome, but they have a lot of fishes where you can't get legally in the US. That is actually very true. That is actually very true. But they're very nice about it, though. I mean, as long as you're, if you're there with somebody who can speak the language, you can get some better prices. I do kind of disagree with their methodologies, because if you actually go look, the way they bag fish in individual bags, to me, is a little bit barbaric. Mike said, I love space chaos and utter chaos, not very high end though. Honestly, Mike, here's the thing. I'm not specifically looking for just high end pieces. I really want pieces that the everyday reefer can buy. I already deal with high end pieces when it comes to Acropora, right? Like recently, like guys, no joke. The frags that I bought recently that included a Matte V Rainbow Envy, a Matte V Orange Envy, a Reef Raft Canada Pretty in Pink, a Jason Fox Home Wrecker, and God, I'm missing one. I'm missing one plus the 2 freebies that I also got. Those in total were like $1,200, $1,300. Okay. I'm not actually asking people to pay for these things. Like when I frag things out for Acropora, sure. But for things that are going to be on that bottom frag tank, those are going to be like, you know, medium level, like low level, things that people actually have the ability to pay for. I vote for classics, which include Rastas, Hornets, etc. Yeah, Rastas do look pretty nice. I think also part of it might depend a little bit on the area that you live in. Not really. I mean, like if you really want to sell something, like in Houston, some things are more popular than others. I just got a wild acro colony with no name. It's going to be my signature coral. Click clack. Hey, dude, click clack. Send me a picture of your wild acro. Did you buy it from did your store import like some Australian Acropora and then you like pick that up and then you want to see it color up? Is that the plan? Because one of my local fish stores, they always bring in these Australian, Indonesian Acropora colonies and they let them color up and then they sell those out. So that'd be pretty cool. I actually have a couple no-name Acropora, or not really. Yeah, they're Acropora that I'm planning on naming myself eventually, just to kind of give it the A2 brand, A squared, whatever the hell you want to call it. I don't know. I'll think of some stupid name for it later. But yeah, some of them are looking pretty good. Fast-growing pally like candy apples. I don't actually know what the candy apples looks like. Again, I'm not very familiar. Candy apples. pally. Oh, that looks kind of nice, man. I like that. I like that a lot. I may actually get some of those. You talking? Is it like, because I'm looking at one right here that's a candy apple orange pally by Cornbread. I mean, Cornbread is a really popular, coral guy or coral company. Is that the one you're talking about? Because that looks really cool. Did you watch on Japan the reefs that they sell? Even they have corals we can't get, and awesome in wood for aquariums. Very good price. Yeah, I haven't seen that, but that sounds pretty sweet, man. Yes, my store got it from there. It was green coloring up blue and purple. And if you want to sell to be profitable, you have to stay in front of the curve or sell bread and butter local. Yeah, I mean, that's very true. So for me, when it comes to Acropora, my plan is more to sell, Click Clack, go ahead and instant message me on, if you want, like on Instagram, go ahead and send it to me. Just I don't know if I've already added you on like DM, but just go ahead and PM me or something, or send me a message. Yeah, Chris, you kind of do have to stay ahead of the curve a little bit. It just kind of depends. There are some, at least with Acropora, a lot of them hold their value, and it depends on which ones you're talking about. Jason Fox Homewrecker has dropped a lot in the last year or so. It used to be like $800 for like a 3/4 cut. But now it's more like $250 to $400. It just depends on what size, if it's branching, if what the colors are, if it's an original lineage, like all that crap. Yeah, I mean, some of them keep value more than others. Yeah, I'm getting 2 pieces, and I'm going to go ahead and link these in chat for you guys. I recently bought 2 pieces, or 3 pieces. I'm sorry. Give me a second. I'm so sorry. It may take me more than a second. So one of my favorite corals is here we go. Not really favorite, but one of my new favorites is a Cornbread Maleficent. And I'm going to see if I can post this in chat this way. Nope, I cannot. Shit, I'll have to upload it. Okay, just do me a favor. Like, I'm not going to upload this to Imgur so you guys can see it. Just go to Google and type in Cornbread Maleficent. That's spelled Maleficent. And it's this like hot pink that terminates in this kind of like pastel blue color, this pastel white color, or kind of like a mix between white, purple, and blue. It just looks absolutely amazing, especially as like a tabling coral. And so we've got that one. So I've got that one coming. And then I have another 2. One of them is Aqua SD's Rainbow Miliopora, which I should be able to get you guys a pretty easy link for. I just think it's a very, very cool looking. Here we go. Got you, fam. I just posted it in chat. That one is the Aqua SD Rainbow Miliopora. I mean, that's a frag size, which is, something that you'd be more closer to getting, but definitely a very nice piece. And then the last one I'm getting, and this should all be coming this Wednesday, or excuse me, no, these will be coming next week. Let me find it. Come on, boy. Here we go. Ooh, that's nice. So this is called Brad's Insane de Fuego. It is a very cool piece. And by the way, that second post I posted, that is from the actual reefer that I'm going to be buying from. His name's Bubba Q on Reef to Reef. He has an amazing SPS Acropora tank. And there are very few people that I would ever buy from directly without, acclimating, not necessarily acclimating, dipping, but he would probably be one of them. Man. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be asking you guys more over the next maybe month, probably more so after I get my frag rack set up, what zoanthids you guys are more into. I'm kind of curious. There's a lot that I've seen that I really, really like. And actually, I wish I'm planning on fragging a bunch from my 210 gallon. I'm kind of nervous though, because I have a one of the original speckled Krakatoas. It looks very nice. I absolutely love my speckled Krakatoa, and I got it as a single polyp for I think $80, and now it's grown out to being like 14 polyps or something like that. I'm really excited to bring those out, but the problem is I keep hearing about, now these are Paleothoas, right? Speckled Krakatoas apparently have a history of when you frag them, the colony dies. So I'm a little bit nervous about removing them, but I have to remove them. So this week, this Wednesday, I am going to be receiving from a friend of mine his scribbled angelfish. Now you guys got to go Google this fish. It is a amazing large angelfish, and these things get pretty big. His is already pretty big. Like I think it's like 5 to 6 or 7 inches even, and it's a beautiful fish. Scribbled, SCRIBBLED, beautiful fish. And so he's already quarantined it. He has a very strict quarantine process. It's been quarantined through chloroquine phosphate, and it's already been eating. It's been in his system. The problem is he has too many large fish, and he needs to get rid of one of them. Now, the thing about scribbled angels you got to keep in mind is that, like most large angels, they will nip at coral, or they'll even outright eat coral. The thing is that scribbled angels, they will actually only eat. Okay, let me phrase it a different way. They won't nip or eat at SPS. Well, they won't eat SPS, but there is a chance that they will nip at SPS. And when I say that, they're really kind of only going for the polyps. This particular scribbled angel, they don't really do anything with the polyps or the ends of the acropora or some of the SPS. But from what the guy that's selling this one to me, or just giving it to me, is that most angels eventually come to the realization that nipping SPS coral really gives them no benefit because they're not really getting anything from it, and they just stop doing it. So his history, and he keeps a ton of angels that are not considered reef safe, and so he has a lot of experience in this. But man, I am super excited. Like, it's such a cool looking fish. Maverick, wow, love them, dude. Those are gorgeous. Yeah, man, I'm super excited to see them. Get frags of Indo-torches, Zolas, and grow out next new hotness. What do you Indo-torches? I mean, there's a bunch of Indo-torches that are already out there. When you say Zolas, what are you referring to? I'm not as familiar with what you're talking about. Josh just got back, recorded a video, editing and uploading. Awesome, man, dude. I'm really excited to see that. Ping me on Discord when you're done with that. I want to see the video. Click Clack Reef, no problem, man. I will check my phone after I'm done with the stream. Yeah, I see Click Clack sent you a message. I'll respond to you after the stream, man. Armor of God. Yes, I have seen those. Those look really cool. Those look really awesome. Blue and purple hornets hold value well. I think I've seen those before. Blue and purple hornet. Oh yeah, those look really cool. And they're actually not that expensive either. I mean, Tidal Gardens is actually selling them for $45 for like 2 to 4 polyps. That's not bad. I'm actually hoping if I can try to find somebody with them that has more than just 2 to 4 polyps, but pricing is pretty good. I want a blood torch. Blood torch? What the fuck is a blood torch? Dude, there's so many different names now. Blood torch. Oh, that's kind of cool. Pink-tipped, orange-tipped Aussie Ultra Torch Coral, I guess, is really what it's closer to. It will eat your zoas. Yeah, man. If you're talking about the scribbled angel, 100% it'll eat my zoas. And that's why, so I have a quarantine tank set up for the scribbled angel. He's going to be in that tank just for observation. Normally, I pre-medicate all of my fish, but because I know where this is coming from, I'm perfectly okay with this. So he's going to be sitting in a tank with no medication. And in the meantime, I'm going to frag off all of my zoas on a rock, which, by the way, is going to be really freaking hard. It's a huge rock. It's at the base of a coral structure. So I'm going to have to take the coral structure off, remove the base, put the coral structure back in, and then try to frag the zoas off. I've got probably like 100 plus utter chaos zoas. I've got a bunch of these local fish store Jupiter, like they're OLA Jupiters that look really cool. and I've got my speckled krakatoas, right, on that one rock. And then another rock later, I've got my Jason Fox Bam Bam zoas. So I'm growing tons of zoas, and my low boy would be cool to swap in the future. Yeah, Jeeping Reefer, that would be very cool. I would totally be down for that. Josh, let me know if you want to do a group live stream. Hey, actually, I've kind of talked to a couple people about that. I would actually completely be down for that. That'd be awesome. American Reefing. Hello, Aaron. Hello, everyone. Okay, dude, you need to check to see this out. Wow, I fall in love with this coral. Yeah, go on, link it to me, man. American Reefing. What's going on, man? I think I saw you in Mike Lemming's stream. Weren't you in there before? I think you were. How are you going to frag them off the rock? Chip the rock away? I mean, yeah, that's kind of my plan. I mean, here's the thing. I'm not planning on getting 100% of the zoas. I will try to get them off, but, you know, I mean, if it's not possible, it's not possible. I would rather have the scribbled angel inside that tank than have those zoas. Let's just put it that way. I have one must-have shroom, a magic carpet. What kind of mushroom is it? Is it a like a Rhodactis, or is it a bounce mushroom? Is it a, what is it? Magic carpet mushroom. Ooh, magic carpet mushroom. That looks nice. So it's definitely a bounce mushroom. Looks nice. When it comes to bounce mushrooms, I prefer the ones that have more kind of like the bubbles themselves, like the actual cancerous growths, than the ones like this one, which is more the small ones. But I definitely respect this one. I like them a lot. So if I'm going to spend that kind of money on something, you know what I'm saying? Like an OG bounce, right? Something like that. Who here is planning on going to Reef Show in Dallas in March? I am. Reef Currents, or not Reef Currents, Aquashella. I'll be going to Aquashella. You picked up a baby jawbreaker shroom. That's nice, man. I like jawbreakers. Chris, good chat. Like your style. Keep on rocking. Thanks, man. Anyways, guys, I need to go make some dinner. My girlfriend is being impatient, and I need to go make some dinner for everybody. So I think I'm going to go ahead and call the stream here. I mean, I think we've been at it for, what, hour and a half or something? I'm planning on having these streams like every Monday. That's the current plan. I probably will try to have a video out this Wednesday like normal. But yeah, just keep an eye on it. But thanks everyone for coming. If you have any other questions, just if you message me on Instagram or you want to message me on Discord, feel free. I'm always available. I almost always respond to people. So just hit me up. Yeah, man. Click clack. I definitely will. That's the plan. Have a good night, American Reefing. All right, guys. I will catch you next time.